Good evening. Behind me is a painting by the Florentine artist Piero di Cosimo, painted in 1515. It shows the Greek legend of Perseus and Andromeda. Andromeda is chained to a rock, with the sea monster Cetus about to devour her, and Perseus is in the sky, with winged sandals. All of these figures can be seen as constellations in the autumn sky. The only animal missing is a wonderful flying horse, Pegasus, which is also part of the legend. The king of Ethiopia was Cepheus, and his consort was Queen Cassiopeia. One day, the queen boasted that she was more beautiful than anyone in her kingdom, including the sea nymphs. The nymphs were angry by this and complained to their father, Neptune, the god of the sea. Neptune sent a sea monster to ravage the coastline. The local oracle was summoned, and to pacify Neptune, he decreed that the beautiful daughter of Cassiopeia, Andromeda, should be chained to a rock. Fortunately, Perseus, who was returning home from another Greek task, after cutting off the head of the Medusa, saw the scene below. The Medusa was a horrible woman with snakes instead of hair, and just one glance at her face turned the individual to stone. Perseus descended and instructed Andromeda to close her eyes, and he held up the Medusa's head in front of the sea monster, turning Cetus instantly into stone, and Perseus then rescued the beautiful Andromeda. Most of the deep sky images in this month's program come from my good friend Tom Pickett, who lives in Texas, America. He now uses two Canon digital single-lens reflex cameras side by side, equipped with 300mm telephoto lenses that sit on a driven equatorial mount. This helps Tom to capture twice as much image data when photographing deep sky objects. In north temperate latitudes, the nights are now getting longer, and it is very nearly the time of year for amateur astronomers to enjoy the Messier Marathon. The aim is to turn your telescope and observe as many Messier objects you can during a single night. It is an enjoyable challenge, especially for everyone with a keen interest in astrophotography. Let us now go on a tour of the autumn skies to see what is on show this season, and we'll begin with the planets. After sunset, the planet Saturn can be seen low down in the south, shining at magnitude 0.5. The world lies among the rich star clouds of the Milky Way, midway between the constellations Sagittarius and Scorpio. A small telescope is enough to show the planet's magnificent rings, which are nicely on display. In northern latitudes, the planet sets 2 hours after the Sun, and in the far south, it is visible high up in the west and observable for about 4 hours. There are two planets on view in the morning sky, Venus and Mars. On the 5th of October, they will come within 0.2 degrees of each other, making an excellent photo opportunity. Venus shines at magnitude -3.9 and is so brilliant it cannot be mistaken. Seen through a telescope, its phases gibbous and is now waxing towards full in early January 2018. Mars is at aphelion on the 7th of October, its furthest position away from the Sun. Mars is just above Venus, shining at magnitude +1.8, and it has an orange hue. The disk of Mars seen through a telescope is very small, so you will not be able to see any surface features. This will change in the coming months. At the next opposition, on the 27th of July 2018, it will be at its closest to us that it can be, just over 56 million kilometres, and you will be able to see much detail on its surface. Let us now turn to the autumn constellations, or if you live in the southern hemisphere, spring. Looking towards the north, the 7 bright stars of the Plough are low down in the northwest, with the summer constellations Ophiuchus, Hercules, Corona Borealis and Bootes set in the west after sunset. In the eastern sky, the constellations of Perseus lies above, Taurus below, Auriga in the northeast, marked by its main star Capella. The pointers of the Plough, Merak and Dubhe now point vertically up to the pole star in Ursa Minor, with Cepheus high overhead. The W of Cassiopeia is high up in the southeast. Cassiopeia contains some star clusters that are visible in binoculars. This image by Tom Pickett shows IC 59 and IC 63, otherwise known as the Ghost of Cassiopeia. And this is the Heart Nebula, IC 1805, also in Cassiopeia. The band of the Milky Way stretches right across the sky from the northeast to the northwest. It is rewarding to scan along the Milky Way with binoculars to see the multitude of star clusters and nebulae on show, while the lovely Pleiades open cluster is partway up the northeastern sky. Here is a nice image of the Pleiades taken by Tom Pickett. During autumn evenings, Cassiopeia acts as a signpost to the other constellations. Using the central star, Chig, along with Rukbar, follow the imaginary line down into the east and you will come to the double cluster, NGC 869 and 884, which is a nice sight in binoculars as it covers a wide area of the sky and is often the target of astrophotographers. Perseus the hero has some bright stars in the pattern of an upside-down Y. The principal star is Alpha Persei or Merfak, magnitude 1.7, which is the first bright star you come to. Follow the right spar of the inverted Y down and you arrive at Beta Persei or Algol, which is a well-known variable star. The star's light varies between magnitude 2.2 and 3.5. The reason for Algol's variability was worked out by the English astronomer John Goodrick in 1762. Algol is an eclipsing binary, Algol being the brightest member of the pair. The secondary star orbits around Algol and passes in front of it every 2.87 days, dimming the light. For this reason, it is known as an eclipsing binary. To the right of Algol, in the direction of the constellation of Andromeda, is Messier 34, magnitude 6.7, which is a beautiful open cluster for binocular observers. Returning to the star Merfak, follow the left spar of the inverted Y down, and you first arrive at Delta Persei, magnitude 3. After one more third magnitude star, you arrive at Xi Persei, magnitude 3.9. Above this star is the California Nebula, NGC 1499. It is an emission nebula which receives its name because it appears to resemble the outline of the US state of California on long exposure photographs, like this one taken by Tom Pickett. It is almost 2.5 degrees long on the sky and looks like a red cloud in photographs. To the right of Perseus is the constellation of Andromeda, made up of two lines of second magnitude stars. The first of these is Gamma Andromeda or Almanac, magnitude 2.3, which is a yellowish star that has a blue 5.3 companion. It is a lovely sight in small telescopes as it has a nice contrast. The next star along is Beta Andromeda or Merak, magnitude 2.2, which is a red giant star. The GEA spacecraft has measured the distance of this star as 198 light years, which is 97 light years further away than the distance previously arrived at by astronomers. Following the line further still, we come to Delta Andromedae, magnitude 3.2, and then the primary star, Alpha Andromedae or Alpheratz, magnitude 2, which lies on the top left corner of the Great Square of Pegasus. The most famous deep sky object in the constellation is the Great Andromeda Galaxy, Messier 31, at magnitude 3.4, which is located by following the two fourth magnitude stars above Beta Andromedae. This image by Tom Pickett shows both the Andromeda Galaxy and the Triangulum Galaxy either side of the orange star Delta Andromedae. The galaxy is easily visible to the naked eye. It can be seen with binoculars and is frequently imaged by astrophotographers. Messier 31 lies at a distance of 2.2 million light-years and is a member of the local group of galaxies, which also includes the Triangulum Galaxy, Messier 33, and our own Milky Way. Another deep sky object in Andromeda is a planetary nebula NGC 7662, magnitude 9.6, also known as the Blue Snowball Nebula. It has a faint central star that is variable with a magnitude of 12 to 16, and the central star is a blue dwarf. Seen in a small telescope, it looks like a star-like object with slight nebulosity. A 6-inch telescope with a magnification of around 100 would reveal a slightly bluish disk. Below the star Almanac is two small constellations of Triangulum and Eris. Triangulum is made up of three fourth magnitude stars, the brightest member being Alpha Trianguli or Metalla, magnitude 3.4. Triangulum is often visited by astrophotographers to image the bright galaxy Messier 33, which is at magnitude 5.7. It is easily visible in binoculars as a misty patch with a very distinct nucleus. The constellation of Eris lies to the east of the Pleiades, Messier 45, and below Triangulum. It resembles a walking stick composed of three bright stars: Alpha Oritis or Hamel, magnitude 2, Beta Oritis or Charatan, magnitude 2.6, and Gamma Oritis or Merifin, magnitude 3.7. The constellation represents the Golden Fleece in the legend of Jason and the Argonauts. The asteroid Iris is at opposition on the 29th of October and can be seen near Alpha Oritis. Iris is of magnitude 6.9 and can be seen in binoculars. This star chart will help you find the asteroid over the next 3 months. The numbers represent the days of the month. At opposition, it is at right ascension 2 hours 5 minutes, declination plus 21 degrees 32 minutes. The constellation of Pegasus, the winged horse, covers a large area of the autumn sky, which to our vantage point is upside down, with its head composed of a triangular group of stars. It stretches from Alpha Pegasi, or Marquette, magnitude 2.5, with Epsilon Pegasi, or Enif, magnitude 2.3, in the far right of the apex of a triangle. Nearby is the lovely globular cluster Messier 15, which is of magnitude 6.4, and is visible in small telescopes. It was discovered by Jean-Dominique Maraldi in 1746 and is recorded in Charles Messier's catalogue of comet-like objects in 1764. The main pattern of stars in the constellation is known as the Great Square of Pegasus. Alpha Andromedae is the star in the top left. Top right is Beta Pegasi or Skeet, magnitude 2.4. Bottom left is Gamma Pegasi or Angenib, magnitude 2.8. And as we have seen, Alpha Pegasi is in the lower right. Returning to Beta Pegasi, we find that it forms a triangle of third magnitude stars that includes Eta Pegasi or Mater. Above this star, Edge-on Galaxy NGC 7331, magnitude 9.5, which is the brightest member of the local group of galaxies. It is quite beautiful as seen in photographs. We can now use the stars of Pegasus as a signpost in the autumn sky. An imaginary line linking Beta and Gamma Pegasi and extended leads to the zodiacal constellation of Pisces, the fishes, while Alpha Andromedae and Alpha Pegasi point down to Aquarius, the water bearer. Aquarius is an extended constellation composed of 4th and 5th magnitude stars. Its principal star is Alpha Aquarii or Saddle Melech, magnitude 2.9, with Beta Aquarii or Saddle Sod, magnitude 2.9, to its right. Above Saddle Sod is a globular cluster Messier 2, which shines at magnitude 6.5, which is shown by small telescopes as a misty patch. Continue the imaginary line from Beta Aquarii an equal distance and you will arrive at the planetary nebula NGC 7009, also known as the Saturn Nebula, which is of magnitude 8.3. It is visible in medium-sized telescopes, however its full beauty is brought out in astrophotographs. Another planetary nebula in Aquarius is NGC 7293, also known as the Helix Nebula, at magnitude 6.3. It is shown nicely in these images by Tom Pickett. The Helix was the first planetary nebula discovered to contain knots. These knots are described as cometary, each centered on a core of neutral molecular gas and containing bright cusps towards the central star and tails away from it. Close to the star Lambda Aquarii is the planet Neptune. It was discovered in 1846 by John Gall and Urban Leverrier at the Berlin Observatory. Neptune was at opposition on the 5th of September. It shines at magnitude 5.7, so the planet can be seen in small telescopes, while larger instruments will show a small blue disk. It lies at right ascension 22 hours 54 minutes, declination -7 58 minutes. Neptune is the 8th planet out from the Sun, lying at a mean distance of 4.5 billion kilometers, and it orbits around the Sun in just under 165 years. It is a gas giant about 49,000 kilometers in diameter, so it is smaller than Jupiter or Saturn. And Voyager 2 is the only spacecraft that has visited Neptune. The spacecraft's closest approach to the planet occurred on the 25th of August 1989, and Voyager 2 also made a close flyby of the moon Triton. Neptune is blue and has its own great black spot, similar to Jupiter's red spot, only not as large. There are often clouds and storm features in the planet's atmosphere. If you do have an opportunity, do try to photograph the planet if you can. To the lower right of Aquarius is the constellation of Capricorn, while the constellation of Pisces Astranus, the southern fish, lies below. The southern fish is found quickly enough by seeing its brightest star, Alpha Astrani or Fomalhaut, which shines at magnitude 1.7 low down in the southern sky. It contains several stars of the 5th magnitude, and sadly it does not include any other objects of interest. The constellation of Capricorn is rather low down in the sky, as seen from north temperate latitudes. It mainly contains stars of the 5th magnitude that are not very distinct. Street lights and the light of the moon will hide it from view. The constellation contains 3 bright stars, Alpha Capricorni or Gradae, magnitude 4.4, which is a rather nice binary. Its secondary member is a magnitude 8.6. Beta Capricorni or Dubai, magnitude 3.1, is also a double star. It has a magnitude 4 companion. There is also Delta Capricorni or Deneb Algedi, magnitude 2.7. The only deep sky object in Capricorn is the globular cluster Messier 30 at magnitude 6.9, which is a rather nice sight in binoculars despite its low elevation. The constellation of Pisces Ophiuchus lies below Pegasus and to the right of Aries. It is composed of 2 lines of 5th magnitude stars. The left path leads to just below Beta Andromedae or Merak, The stars of this fish extend directly below the Great Square of Pegasus. The principal star is Alpha Piscium, or Arashi, magnitude 4.1, which lies in the apex where the two lines of stars join. Alarashi is a binary star with a magnitude 5.7 companion. The two stars orbit around each other in 720 years. There are no deep sky objects of interest in Pisces, although the planet Uranus lies in the constellation to the right of Omicron Piscium. It has a magnitude of 5.7 and can be found at right ascension 1 hour 40 minutes, declination plus 9 degrees 44 minutes. The constellation of Pisces is the home to the first point of Aries. The sun lies in this position on the first day of spring, and it is where the right ascension coordinates begin. It is therefore known as the Greenwich meridian of the night sky. Over its year-long journey through the constellations, the sun crosses the celestial equator from south to north at the first point of Aries, and from north to south at the first point of Libra. The first point of Aries lies just below the star Lambda Piscium. Directly below Pisces is Cetus the whale, and is identified with the sea monster in the Greek legend of Perseus and Andromeda. The principal star is Alpha Cetus or Menkar, magnitude 2.5, which lies next to Gamma Cetus, which is at magnitude 3.5. In the tail of the creature, its brightest star, Beta Cetus, magnitude 2, lies in the head. The star of greatest importance is Omicron Cetus, or Mira, in the middle of the body of the whale. It is a long-period variable star ranging in magnitude between 3.5 and 10 in 331 days. Mira is a red giant star and a binary star system, and was the first non-supernova variable star discovered. In the case of Mira, its increase in brightness takes it up to about magnitude 3.5 on average, placing it among the brightest stars in the constellation of Cetus. When I last observed Mira on the 20th of September, it was shining at magnitude 9.2. From northern latitudes, we head to the southern hemisphere to see what our friends can see in the night sky. Here it is the season of spring, and all of the constellations we are used to are now upside down in the sky, and broadly similar to all those seen in north temperate latitudes. The constellation of Crux, the Southern Cross, is at its lowest in the south, and from latitudes north of Pretoria or Brisbane it sets, though it does not remain below the horizon for very long before it rises again. Centaurus is also low near the southern horizon, and somehow the picture seems incomplete, though a vital link is missing. Even Alpha Carini, or Canopus, which shines at magnitude minus 0.6 in Carina Versailles, is low down, though it has started to gain altitude. Scorpius is disappearing in the southwest. The southern bears are prominent, with Phoenix not too far from the overhead, and both Arkna in Eridanus, the river, at magnitude 0.4, and Fomalhaut, magnitude 1, in the southern fish, are high. At least Orion is returning and is well on view at midnight. In the northern part of the sky, we have a particularly notable group, Pegasus, the flying horse, whose 4 main stars make up the celebrated square. To be precise, one of the 4, Alpheratz, has been transferred to the adjacent constellation of Andromeda and is now known as Alpha Andromedae rather than Delta Pegasi. It is of magnitude 2. The other stars of the square are Alpha Pegasi or Markab, Gamma or Algenib, and Beta or Skeet, which is an orange giant which varies rather erratically between magnitudes 2.3 and 2.8 in a period of just over 35 days. The only other bright star in Pegasus is Epsilon, or Enif, which shines at magnitude 2.4, which lies some way away from the square. The square itself is conspicuous enough. The stars Skeet and Markeb point to Fomalhaut in Pisces Astranus. The stars Alpheratz and Algenib point to Beta Cetus in the Whale. Cetus is one of the brightest constellations in the sky, but certainly not one of the richest. As well as Dipter, which shines at magnitude 2, it has only one other star above the third magnitude, the reddish Alpha or Menkar, magnitude 2.5. Taur Cetus, magnitude 3.5, is a close neighbour. The most important object in the Whale is Mira, Omicron Cetus, the prototype long-period variable, which I have already mentioned. When it reaches its second magnitude, as it will on January the 24th, 2018, it changes the whole appearance of that part of the sky. Pisces Ophiuchus lies between Cetus and Pegasus and is marked by a long line of stars. But its sole claim to fame is that it lies in the zodiac. The constellation of Fornax, the Furnace, between Cetus and Eridanus, is even less noticeable. Eris has one second magnitude star, Alpha Oritis or Hamel, magnitude 2. Gamma or Meraphim, magnitude 3.8, is an easy double, with components which are of equal magnitude of 4.8. The separation is almost 8 seconds of arc. Triangulum, the triangle, merits its name, but the constellation contains the spiral galaxy Messier 33, which is a member of a local group. It has a low surface brightness and can be quite awkward to find with a telescope. In fact, it may be easier to use a pair of binoculars. Andromeda, the princess of the ancient Greek legend, extends from Pegasus in the direction of Perseus. Apart from Alpheratz, there are two other bright stars, Beta or Merak, magnitude 2, and Gamma or Almanac, magnitude 2.1. Merak is orange, while Almanac is orange-red, and has a fifth magnitude companion at a separation of over 9 seconds of arc. The fainter member of the pair is itself a close binary, but is not at all easy to split. Andromeda is well north of the celestial equator and is very awkward to observe, at least from New Zealand. It is not particularly rich, but it does include one of the most famous objects in the sky, Messier 31, the Great Spiral that is easy to see with binoculars. Do not expect it to look anything but a vague blur. At a distance of 2.2 million light years, it is the most remote object to be visible to the naked eye. And when you observe it, you are looking back more than 2 million years in time. Do go outdoors and look at the autumn star groups, and like my friend Tom Pickett, do photograph some of the deep sky objects on show over the next 3 months. Make the most of observing Venus and Saturn. Venus is in superior conjunction on the 9th of January 2018 and then reappears in the west after sunset. Saturn is in conjunction with the Sun on the 21st of December and reappears in the morning sky at the end of January. The 2018 Yearbook of Astronomy is published in November, and it contains monthly star charts along with a monthly guide showing where you can find the moon and planets throughout the year. Also, Neil Norman FRAS shows you where to see asteroids and comets during 2018. The yearbook is also available as an e-book. If you wish, you may pre-order a copy from the Amazon website. That is all we have time for this month. Thank you for watching. If you like these programs, please share it with your friends and members of your local astronomical society. Until we come back next month, good evening.